Welcome to Lesson 4, Absolute Value Equations. So we're going to take a little side detour off of the inequalities and talk about absolute value equations. So if you remember, absolute value tells you the distance from 0, how far a number is from 0. And absolute value is always positive. So here, if we see that c is greater than or equal to 0, x is a solution of this absolute value of ax plus b equals c. So if in this equation c is bigger than 0, we know that x is going to be a solution to the absolute value of ax plus b equals c. What happens after that, we see that this becomes ax plus b equals c, or ax plus b equals the opposite of c. If c is less than 0, then the equation ax plus b, absolute value of ax plus b equals c, has no solution. So what I want you to do now is, in your group, pause the video and discuss what makes the first one true and the second one false. So go ahead, pause the video and discuss that now. Okay. Now, this stems from the fact that absolute values are always positive. If c is less than 0, that means that our c here is going to be a negative number. And we cannot take the absolute value equal a negative number. It's impossible. So where does this right here come into play as we talk about this? Well, let's just say that we have the absolute value of x equals 8. What that first sentence says, that we can rewrite it so that it says this. We can say that either x equals 8 or x equals the opposite of 8. So all we're doing is taking whatever is inside the absolute value, we set it equal to this, and then we set it equal to the opposite of this number. So let's do a couple of examples. Example 1, we have the absolute value of x plus 1 equals 3. And we first step, look here. Is this positive or negative? If it's negative, we know we can't solve it. If it's positive, we can. Well, it's a positive 3. So as soon as we realize that it's a positive, what we do is we split it into those two equations. We take this out and we say that x plus 1 equals this, 3, or x plus 1 equals the opposite of 3. Well, this is a positive 3. The opposite of positive 3 is negative 3. And now we can solve. Now we have something similar to what we were working with in the last lesson. It's just instead of inequalities, we have equal signs. So we're going to solve down one side and then solve the other. So we have x plus 1 equals 3, so we subtract 1. So we get that x equals 2. Or we subtract 1 over here, we get that x equals negative 4. So our answers are going to be x equals 2 or x equals negative 4. Example 2. Sometimes you'll run into situations where there will be a number outside the absolute value. You cannot do that split of the absolute value until you get rid of everything outside of it. So we cannot split this until we get rid of that plus 2. So all we do is we just subtract 2 to begin. So that we get the absolute value of 4x equals 12. Now we can start performing the absolute value process. we see that 12 is positive, so we can say that 4x equals 12, or 4x equals the opposite of 12. And then we solve. Divide by 4. We get x equals 3, or x equals -3. And that's our answer. With equal signs, we don't have to graph. We just have to state what our answer is. Okay, so here are 4 examples for you to work on in your group. So I want you to go ahead and pause the video now and work through these with your group. And here are the worked out solutions to those 4 examples. So go ahead, once again, please pause the video and look over this with your group. After you do that, the video is over.